The Biden administration and House Republicans are in a stalemate.
They face an initial debt ceiling deadline tomorrow without a hint of either side budging.
The standoff could have major implications for the economy, rattling financial markets amid worries about a recession.
Meanwhile, Americans are still struggling with inflation. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
A debt ceiling showdown on Capitol Hill that threatens economic catastrophe across the country hits its first deadline tomorrow.
Really just the starting gun of the process.
That's when Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says the country will reach the current $31.4 trillion cap on how much money it can borrow to meet its existing financial obligations. The Treasury Department will then use extraordinary measures to keep paying bills, extending the timeline to early June for Congress to raise the debt ceiling in order to pay back money the government's already spent.
We're 6 months away. Why wouldn't we sit down now and change this behavior?
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy backing a push by far-right Republican members to demand spending cuts as part of any debt ceiling deal.
Let's start paying this debt off.
The White House is demanding that Congress raise the debt limit, a standard practice across administrations, without conditions.
We're going to defend the economy. We're not going to let it be held hostage by the extreme MAGA Republican wing.
Failure to reach an agreement would mean that sometime this summer, the U.S. would default on its loans for the first time in history, setting off a financial doomsday scenario.
It could raise our borrowing costs for decades to come, which would ironically actually raise our government spending and raise our debt.
Complicating the process is the political debt Speaker McCarthy owes to his party's far-right faction, who he had to win over through a laundry list of concessions in order to take the Speaker's gavel. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And the showdown is not a surprise. We know that using the debt ceiling to try to force deep spending cuts was part of the negotiations to make McCarthy House Speaker, as you heard.